Let's talk about how two peas in a pod can supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom today is like two peas in a pod. This is an older idiom. It's from the late 1500s, and there was another idiom as well that had to do with peas and pods in 1580. It was published in John Iley's, I think his name was John Iley's, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Euphrates of and his England or something. It was some weird tomb that I've of course never read, but it apparently referenced pods and peas and things being alike. Now, two peas in a pod, of course, means that things look very similar, or they either look alike or behave alike. They look identical. Think of twins or siblings, perhaps. Nowadays, I have noticed with everyone, including me, running around in these amazing little face masks, we all seem to look alike, especially if I have a hat and glasses on. I laughed. My son got his Sam's Club picture taken the other day, and he had a cap and a mask on, and I'm like, this could be absolutely anybody. I could put a baseball cap on and go use your Sam's card. This is so ridiculous. But yesterday I was returning some things from American Eagle with my daughter, and they had a cool feature. They had not only free masks, but stickers to customize your mask so that you wouldn't have to look like everybody else, so that you didn't have to be identical. So I grabbed a sheet because I thought it was such a fun, clever, and creative way to bring people in, but to also make them feel a little bit special and have a little bit of fun. Don't we all need more fun during COVID? Yes, absolutely. And we don't want to all look identical. We don't all want to be peas in a pod. So I thought that was a cute example and a fun example of exactly what we're talking about today, how to differentiate yourself when everybody feels the same. Now, the interesting thing about being like two peas in a pod is that we tend to attract to our businesses and to ourselves and in our lives people that are like us, people we have something in common with. And that is all fine and good and dandy and awesome until you find yourself in a situation where you need the diversity, you need other people's opinions, you need other ways of looking at situations and looking at problems. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but in my corporate career, I had one or two opportunities where I found myself working for a boss who was a lot like me, like really a lot like me. Now, she hired me because I was a lot like her, but that meant that we thought the same about so many things. Sometimes we didn't always come up with the best solutions, or we'd agree on things, but that maybe wasn't the best big picture solution for the situation that we were in. And sometimes I realized that we needed other opinions besides just us when we were deciding how things were going to go, when we were looking at processes, when we were planning projects and things. Have you ever had people that work for you or report to you or work with you on a team? Everybody's got the yes, yes mentality, or the brown-nosing, no matter what you say, you walk on water behavior. You know that's not what they think, but that's the way they're acting. Terrible. It again leads to watered down, worse results than we want in our organizations. Haven't had a lot of that, but I have experienced it in both corporate America and in my business life. I mean, some people think that they have to behave, and I probably was like that when I was younger, in a certain way to fit in, but sometimes fitting in isn't what is best for the organization. It isn't what is important in solving our customers and the people that we serve's problems. We tend to attract people to our businesses that are like us, but we have to remember that if we all think alike, we're missing out on the gaps and the opportunities that are available to serve people better. So we want to make sure that we're appreciating and involving other sources of information, other points of view, other perspectives. Some of the best companies I've ever worked for are the most diverse companies, the companies that have all different types of people, all different types of beliefs, all different backgrounds and levels of experience working for them. Those have always been the best teams I've been involved in. They're a little harder to form in the beginning because it takes a little longer for people that are different to gel, because guess what? All of us have things in common if we're willing to look for them. And it's finding that common ground that makes it possible to work with absolutely anyone and everyone. And that's how we should be. I mean, that's who am I to think that other people should think like I do? Who am I to think that other people should believe and feel about everything the exact way I do? They're absolutely never going to. We all have our own unique set of experiences and beliefs and feelings and thoughts and behaviors about everything. So we want to encourage that in our organizations and make it work to our advantage, use it as a competitive advantage to come up with the best possible solutions for the people that we serve, the best possible solutions to make the world a better place, to provide answers to things that other people might not be willing to look at because they only want to do things their way. One of my most dreaded sayings I would hear people say in corporate America was, well, that's the way we've always done it. And then I married a guy that said that all the time. Well, that's just the way I am, which is another way of saying that's the way I've always done it and I'm not going to change. Or that's the way things should be and I'm not going to change. Fine, you don't have to change, but I am probably going to change because I know that we always want to be changing and growing and moving forward and progressing and bringing the people that we care about right along with us. And those include our customers. Curious what your experience has been with the idiom or the expression peas in a pod. Do you have, and have you ever experienced the whole group think thing? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like there's too much of the same, too much of always finding the same solutions to different problems because that's your solution, instead of looking outside the box and saying, oh, what else is possible? Because there's always an answer. There's always a better way. There's always something else that's possible and another way of approaching a problem or situation. I know that in my family, we tend to think, in our family, siblings tend to be a lot alike. And I would probably say that I don't look like my sisters, and they would probably say, at least the younger ones, I don't look anything like her. But if you put us all together in a place, you can definitely tell that we're siblings. I've got a redheaded sister, I've got a blonde sister, I've got a brunette sister, and I'm pretty much graying. So we all have different colored hair, but we all have similar features. I got my dad's nose, they all got my mom's nose. I guess my oldest sister and I have my dad's nose. But there's definitely features and similarities, especially in the way we speak, in our mannerisms, and probably in some of the things we believe. There's a lot of things we don't believe the same, but there's a lot of things that we do because we've had so many shared experiences. So we want to be watching out for that and looking for that in everything that we do with respect to our businesses. That could lead to the whole topic of nepotism and siblings and families, and do you hire family members? Now, I've worked in a lot of family-owned businesses, so I see both sides of it. There's positives to it and there's negatives to it. There's positives in that if you have one person that's got a great work ethic, they tend to have siblings that have a great work ethic. I worked in corporate America at, I won't even say the name of the company, but they had 4 out of the 5 brothers worked for the same company. I've worked for a lot of companies where they hired siblings and offspring of people that work there that were good employees. Now, it can backfire too if you hire somebody and they're not a great employee and they have a bad attitude, and you bring in their family. That can cause some negative impacts as well. But I, being from family-owned businesses, don't have a problem hiring people that other people recommend. I always like to hire people that other people recommend. Because it brings with it some sense of urgency for them to teach them and indoctrinate them into the way and the culture of the organization as well. All right, that's it. That's all I've got today on like 2 peas in a pod. Love to know your experience with this idiom. Have an absolutely amazing day. I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business right now to supersize and grow and create the impact that you want to in the world? Any questions? Hit me up below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.